103.1 nanofarad. So that's within spec. So we'll get ready to pop that in. Right, let's pop a heatsink on the wire just to protect that a bit as I remove the capacitor. While we're in here as well, I'm going to lift one end of the 250 ohm resistor, and I'm going to tack in, or rather clip in, some alternatives, and then look to measure what dissipation I'm getting with a 275 and a 330 ohm resistor. The only values I've really got that will apply to the amp here at the moment, and then when I find something that I'm happy with, I can order some proper 10 watt resistors. So I'll now turn it over, install the valves, and then switch it back on with a 10 ohm, an 8 ohm load, and I'll flip it back over so I can then patch in some resistors to measure what the tube dissipation will be with slightly higher value resistors. An 8 ohm 100 watt resistor as a dummy load. Oops, let's take that out of the way. Now what we're going to do is start off with a 270 ohm resistor, which is the next highest value up I have in my stash of component parts. And all I'm going to do is clip some jumper leads on, pop these in place over here, on. 22.6, let's make a note of that. .6 voltage drop. And it was 311 and 310. 310.5 plate cathode 310.5, and again one last check at that resistor. Two 7.3. So 22.6 divided by 273 equals 0.83 millivolts divided by 2 equals 41.4 millivolts, which if I multiply that by 310.5 gives a dissipation of 12.85 watts, which takes us down to 92%. I think I would still like it a bit lower than that. So I'm now going to sub in a slightly lower, a higher value resistor. I've only got a 3-watt one this time, but I think it's 333 ohms, but we'll measure that just to make sure. So this resistor this time is 334. So resistor 334. Everything connected, okay. Power on. Measure the voltage drop. .6. And again, cathode to plate voltages. $318 and 318. 317.5, 318 then. So this time we are 24.6 voltage drop divided by 334 equals 0.074 divided by 2 equals 0.3, so 36.8 millivolts, and multiply that by 318. So that's 11.7 watts of dissipation, which is about 84%, which is more what I'd be aiming for, I think, because I like to run my valves slightly cool. So I'm going to aim for a 330 ohm resistor in there at some point. Oh gosh, that one's hot. But for now, we'll tack back in the 250 ohm one. Right, so we'll put this one back in place for the time being. And I'll order up a 330 ohm, which should give me the target value I'm looking for. So we've done. So now we're all ready to put it back in and have a play.